Hello and what's up, GSC Pokemon Challenges fam? How you guys doing? I'm back. Sorry for the delay, guys. I was really sick last week, but I'm ready to go. We've got some great challengers to continue the Falkner Minimum Battles series. We're gonna bust this thing out. We're gonna get this done. I promise you. I promise you. So let's check out the challengers here. We've got some pretty strong kind of mid-tier Pokemon coming in this one. Starting off with the Starmie Staryu line. I mean, Starmie was a Gen 1 OU Pokemon. We have Mr. Mime, Scyther, Jynx, Electabuzz, Magmar, Pinsir, all Pokemon that were kind of in that middle range of decently strong, not overpowered, but strong enough to get through good swaths of the game without extra battles in Gen 1. Let's see if that holds up in Gen 2. Then we're going to get access to some more babies in this one. We've got a couple steel types, we've got some dark types, and then we've got Mantine. So, cool. Let's just see how these Pokemon go. I am predicting, just a bit of a bold prediction. I'm betting that 14 Pokemon get through Falkner in this one. Just based on type advantages, stats, what I think their movesets will probably be. I think even Scyther has a decent chance of getting through Falkner in this one. Pinsir has a really good attack stat. I'm a little worried about a couple of the babies, and I'm a little worried about maybe one or two Pokemon just not having the moves that I think they'll have. Could cause them to fail, but I'm going with 14. Place your predictions down in the comments below, as usual. I always love to see it. See the analysis before you watch the video. Don't post afterwards. Come on, that's cheating, guys. Anyway, we are back. We are using the brand new overlay, and there's a few new features that come with that, of course. We can see more details of our Pokemon. So Starmie actually ranks 34th out of all Pokemon in terms of base stats with a total of 520, where you're definitely a special attacker and very, very fast. HP is the weakness here. One of the other differences between this and the old overlay is I can just check the moves. So I don't know, tell me if you want me to check the moves or not in advance, but we can see with Starmie, it has an amazing starting moveset, given the fact that it has Recover, it has Bubble Beam. Not sure if Rapid Spin will ever really be useful in a full game run, but it's also going to learn tons and tons and tons of TMs. Like, as we go through the TMs, we can just see, of course, it can learn electric type moves, ice type moves, of course, water type moves. It's going to be pretty good, I think. It's not going to get that stab psychic until we get to Kanto, of course, but I think this is a Pokemon that could go really far in this challenge. Let's find out if that's the case. I'm back here, guys. How's it going? I have made it so that I can turn off the webcam. Aha, I disappeared. But I can be here as well. So some people commented that just when I was resetting last time, it was weird to just see my face pop up for like 2 seconds. I can go ahead and just turn it off in those situations so that it's not bothering you guys. But it's good to see you again. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me. Let's get into this. Starmie time. I'm pretty hopeful for this Pokemon, honestly. I think it's going to do a good job, but let's just find out if that is the case. So I gotta say, Starmie was always one of my favorite Pokemon as a kid. I realized that it was super fast and it learned tons of moves. And that's really the name of the game when it comes to Pokemon. Really, speed plus type coverage is unbeatable in most cases. There are some Pokemon that have really great type coverage, of course, and they turned out to be trash, but usually speed plus type coverage is a pretty good combination. So here, we have put Starmie into the Totodile Ball. Of course, we want to go up against the Chikorita line as we go through this challenge. So it's time to take on Rival 1. Let's just see how he goes with our Starmie here. I don't think he's going to be too hard, but let's find out. So here, I mean, he can use a move like Growl. So I think after Growl, Bubble Beam's the way to go. We're clearly doing way more damage than he's doing to us. So this is going to be a guaranteed win every single time, I think. Very nice. All right, so we have made it to Falkner's gym. It's time to check the stats as usual. Coming in at level 6, we've got 25 HP, Tackle, Rapid Spin, Recover, and Bubble Beam, of course. And we're clearly a special attacker, and we have a move to actually use it with Bubble Beam, so that 18 special attack does actually matter here. Otherwise, we've got 15 attack, 17 defense, 17 special defense, and 20 in speed. And I don't even think we need a berry here for the very first fight against Honest Abe. I'm just going to try him as we are. Let's see if we can just beat him on the first attempt. So here, I'm just going to lead off with Bubble Beam, and that did basically about 40%, I'd say. And because we outspeed already, this is an easy win. Oh my gosh, we just beat Honest Abe like no problem. Let's go ahead and just slam a potion, take on the God Rod, and get to Falkner. And sure enough, both of Rod's Pidgeys are just 2-hit KOs here, so we have a guaranteed win there every single time. So now let's heal up and just check the stats. Starmie is in the slow level up group, so it's coming into Falkner only at level 7 with 27 HP now. We've got the same moveset, of course, but now we've got 17 attack, 19 defense, 21 special attack, 19 special defense, and 23 in speed. I think this is more than enough to get through, especially with the same type attack bonus in Bubble Beam. And it's not like he's going to want to use a bunch of Bud Slaps on us. So I think we're going to get through this, but let's just see. So Falkner, first attempt with our Starmie. Game plan, hold down A on Bubble Beam. There we did over half to the first Pidgey and we knock it out turn 2. Level up to level 8. We can see our stats have gone up very nicely. We're going to outspeed this Pidgeotto, and Bubble Beam looks to be a 3-hit KO here. Oh, and we get a critical hit, so we knock him out in 2 turns. Falkner never stood a chance. Not a single chance in this one. And we have completed Falkner with our very first Pokemon. Now, I think it's only natural that we should compare up this Starmie to a Mantine, just to put it up against another water type. Let's see how Mantine does in this section of the game. Quickly checking Mantine's stats, it's 85th out of 251 Pokemon. It's definitely got lower stats than we had with our Starmie. It's got lower attack, lower special attack. That special defense doesn't really matter in this section. So this is going to be pretty interesting, I think. So the real question is, what is Mantine's starting moveset? Because if it's the same as Starmie, well, that will be one thing. But if it's different, well, then that's going to be a completely different thing. All right, so we have our Mantine. Let's just take a quick look here. We're at level 5 with 21 HP. We know Tackle and Bubble. So we at least do have a special move, though Bubble is not super great. It's effectively 30 base power. So here against Rival 1, I'm going to take off the berry and let's just see how we do in this fight. So of course he's going to lead off with Chikorita, but I think we're going to be okay. Tackle should do enough damage here, though the fact that he just hit me with a growl is actually pretty bad. But Bubble does basically nothing, so we do have to stick with Tackle here and just hope to do enough damage, but we might actually need the berry in this fight. He's doing 3 damage per hit, and we are not doing 3 damage per hit to him. So he survived with 3 HP. Let's go ahead and reset here. So here we've returned. We can now take on Rival 1 again. We're going to make sure to save this time, and we're keeping that berry on. Let's see how we do this time against Rival 1. So here the strategy clearly is to go for Tackle since it's neutrally effective. Okay, he gets a growl there and a second growl. That's kind of bad, but hopefully the berry should be enough. We've got him down in red health already. I think we're getting through on this attempt. Yep, no problem. So Mantine just needs to have a berry and it can get through Rival 1 without too much issue, but it's still dealing with significantly weaker attacks than our Starmie. It's probably more on par with Staryu if I had to guess. We'll just see if it actually turns out that way or not. Bubble is going to do significantly more damage against anything that doesn't resist it, given our pretty decent specialist stat and the fact that most opponents at this point in the game don't have great special. But this is still looking a little suspect. We do get through the fight, but it wasn't like we got through super comfortably. If he had just gone all in on attack and gotten a critical hit, he probably could have beaten us there. So just like that, we have made it to Falkner's gym. And we are here at level 6 with 25 HP. We know Tackle and Bubble, of course. We've got 11 attack, 15 defense, 16 special attack, 23 special defense, 15 speed. I think that difference in attack and special attack is enough that Bubble is technically stronger here. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that it's actually the stronger move. In spite of the fact that it's slightly weaker, we just got better stats for it. Most of these opponents also don't have great special, so we're going to give a berry here, let's go ahead and try to get into this fight with Honest Abe and see if we can beat him on the first attempt. So first try at old Honest Abe here. I'm going to put Bubble in the top slot and just use that. We are slower than the Spearow and we did 5 damage. So it's going to take 6 hits to get through here. And he did like 6 damage to us both times. So given that we have the berry, I think we're just going to get through this. Oh no, we don't. Now it could be a matter of ranges. It could be a matter of getting a critical hit here. Let's just see. So I'm going to go back into my bubble spam here. Bubble does have a small chance to lower the opponent's speed, which could help us here. We got even a worse range though. We only had 7 HP left, but there's the critical hit and we get through Honest Abe on the second attempt. So not great, but possible. Just because Bubble is so much weaker than something like Bubble Beam, 20 base power versus 65 base power when we had the Starmie, it's a pretty big difference, honestly. So here, even these Pidgeys are looking like 5-hit KOs. Oh my goodness. So there we do level up to level 7 though, so we have a speed advantage now and we have slightly more power, and it does look like we're getting through this one. There we go. God Rod goes down. Now it's time to take on old Falkner. Here, we're going to give the berry. We're in the slow level up group, so Mantine has only gotten here at level 7. We've got 28 HP, Tackle and Bubble, of course, we're going to keep that berry on. We've got 12 attack, 17 defense, 18 special attack, 26 special defense, and 17 speed. That special defense stat just doesn't matter at this point, and our special attack isn't really that great given that we're only using Bubble, but let's see if it's enough with a berry to get through Falkner on the first attempt. So first try here, we're just going to keep Bubble in the top slot here and just hold Auto A and just hope it does enough. We're taking 3 damage per hit from the Pidgey. We got a critical hit there, which was not ideal, but we do get through still with green health and level up to level 8. Now let's see how much damage Pidgeotto does. It's doing 6 damage per hit. We heal up there, but we're only doing 5 damage per hit here. We did get a speed drop, but it got a critical hit, so we're definitely losing the first one. The question is, are we even strong enough to get through here though? Because this is not looking great. This is, in fact, looking kind of bad. Okay, we got a very good range there on the Pidgey due to a critical hit, so we've got 22 HP remaining here. So the first gust didn't even get us down into berry range, and we get a crit there. We outsped. Oh, and we got the speed tie there, so there we go. We finally get through Falkner, but man, that was brutal to get through that one. Mantine barely gets through. Oh, Mantine, I'm really nervous for this Pokemon going forward. We can see we're going to learn Supersonic via level up. We'll get Bubble Beam at level 18. I'm not sure if we'll get there before we get to Bugsy. Not sure how many levels we gain in the next section, but I'm guessing a slow level up Pokemon doesn't get there. Let's see, we do learn Mud Slap and we learn Swift. So those make me a little more confident that we could get through, because Mud Slap and Swift at least give us a better normal type move and a better move to deal with the poison types in the next section. So we'll just see if that works out or not, given our low attack stat. But hey, Mantine is through. So now I think it's time to find out if we can get through this next section with a Staryu, and then we'll go and we'll check our progress so far. It is time for Staryu, second Pokemon that belonged to Misty in Gen 1. And I always found it weird that you couldn't catch any of the water Pokemon for so long in the first gen. Like, you had to wait. Basically, I mean, you could get a Magikarp fairly early, but otherwise, if you didn't pick Squirtle, you were basically without a water type until at least Celadon and evolving Eevee into a Vaporeon. I mean, unless you wanted to catch a Magikarp, because they only gave you the Old Rod. Oh man, just terrible. So just like that, we have our Staryu, and we can see we start with Tackle and Harden, a very different move set from our evolved form. And this could get interesting. I mean, yes, Harden could help us since everything's a physical attacker at this point in the game, but having Tackle isn't great given that our attack stat isn't very good. We'd much rather have a special move, but I mean, it is about the best I guess we could hope for at this point. We're just gonna have to use lots of berries, I think. So let's just see how it goes. So here, let's go ahead and get into the Rival 1 fight. We have Tackle. I'm gonna at least try this one time without a berry. Let's just see. Let's just see if it works or not. So here, first things first, I'm actually gonna use Harden turn 1 just to increase my defense. I'll even Harden again. So he's doing 2 damage per hit. Looks like we're doing 2 damage per hit. So we're doing similar amounts of damage. The issue is, of course, that we just don't have as much HP as Chikorita. Okay, so definitely with a berry, we get through this one. So let's just give the berry, or keep the berry on rather. Let's try this a second time. So here with the berry on, we can now still use Harden. I'll even use a second one just in case. And now go into our Tackle spam. But the difference here is that even though he's doing 2 to 3 damage per hit, we get a heal up mid-fight and he doesn't. And I think the fact that we're doing 2 damage per hit means that we will get enough hits in to get through this one this time. And sure enough, there we go. Nice. So we get the win there, but we got to keep in mind, we're in the slow level up group. Looks like my XP to level up is broken over there, but yeah, we are in the slow level up group. So really, we do not level up in this section until we beat youngster Mikey, and then we don't level up again until we get to Falkner, basically. So we beat youngster Mikey with 1 HP remaining, but we do level up then. We got one unlucky miss with Tackle there, so I can't really hate on Staryu too much, but yeah, that was not great. That makes me very nervous for this next section. So we have made it to Falkner's gym, 3rd Pokemon here. Level 6, 21 HP. We've got Tackle and Harden, 12 attack, 13 defense, 15 special attack, 13 special defense, 17 speed. We're definitely using a berry here. Speed is kind of our saving grace, but we're not going to outspeed Honest Abe, unlike our evolved form Starmie. We're going to have to see how we get through this. I'm going to do this first, trying just all out attack. Then we'll mess around a little bit with some Hardens and see if we can get through between those and the berry. But let's just try here. So round 1, all in on Tackle. And that, I believe, was a critical hit peck. Yeah, normal peck is doing 8 damage. And we are doing not 8 damage. So that did not look very good. We're doing about 5 damage per hit. So there, with no crit, we're still a 4-hit KO, it looks like. So we definitely need to try to use a Harden here. Let's just see if it helps or not. So 1 Harden. Now he's doing like 6 damage per hit. We heal up. So we're still basically getting 4-hit KO'd here because of the fact that turn 1, he hits us for 8 damage and gets us all the way down to 13 HP. This is not looking good. Just not looking good at all. The fact that even with a Harden, we're still taking 6 damage per hit is kind of an issue. And we're not even getting close. So the only other thing to check here is about struggle strats. Now, if we were to come in here and struggle, these moves are clearly weak enough that they could be used up on a wild Pokemon. But the real question here is just if even struggle strats will be enough. The reason we try struggle here is because struggle is effectively 50 base power as opposed to Tackle being 35 base power. So it is approximately a 50% boost in power. But we also have to keep in mind that we take recoil damage. And yeah, so it just might not work out, but let's try. So here, Honest Abe, first attempt with some struggle. We're going to use Harden once. And then after struggle, we do 1 damage to ourselves, but we did 5 damage to him. Really not enough. We got him slightly below half health, and then we get taken out. We can basically say that Staryu does not get through Falkner on minimum battles. So let's just see how we're doing so far. We'll pop back up over here. Okay, so we've gotten it fixed. We now have Staryu correctly in the fail column. Mantine has successfully been moved up into the pass column. So 121 Pokemon getting through Falkner at this point. One thing I got to check on is Mischievous, because we got through with Mischievous if I recall correctly, but I don't know, that could be me misremembering. I need to go back and rewatch that video. We'll get Mischievous back where it's supposed to be. We might have one more Pokemon either in the fail column or the pass column. I just forget what the result there was. Anyway, it is now time to move on to Mr. Mime. Psychic type. If it knows Confusion, I think it's just going to crush here, but let's find out here. So Mr. Mime, he's pretty much on par stats-wise with what we were looking at when we had Mantine, but he has a much higher special attack stat, lower HP and attack, but higher speed. And let's just see, here in Pokemon Crystal, he starts the game with only Barrier. Oh, if that's true, then we're just getting wrecked. There's no way. But we get Confusion at level 6, so maybe we have a shot, but we're gonna have to use some struggle strats first. Let's just see. Oh, if we have to use struggle strats with this one, this is gonna be terrible. Really, I'm not looking forward to this. So people who've watched me in Gen 1 know that I have a very love-hate relationship with Mr. Mime. Like, he's just strong enough that he can get to the end of the game on minimum battles. But in the original Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, unless you're using the in-game trade Mr. Mime that gets extra XP, he's actually really terrible at the end game. He does not beat the game on minimum battles with any reasonable consistency, and it's just because he doesn't have great moves, especially without TMs. Oh, it's a nightmare. But let's just see. Here we've got Mr. Mime in the Totodile Ball. Let's pick him up, see what the stats are, see what the starting moveset is. And sure enough, we start the game with only Barrier. Oh, God. Oh, this is going to be terrible. How are we expected to get through when we don't have a damage-dealing move? Somebody tell me. Oh, Mr. Mime. Oh, he came back in Gen 2 just to make me hate him again. But yeah, I went into great detail when I did the full game Mr. Mime runs in Gen 1 on RBY Pokemon challenges about why I dislike this Pokemon so much. Everything from the design, because you can say that's a mime, but that is a clown, okay? That is a clown. It's it. I do not like clowns. I was deathly scared of them as a child. They still freak me out. So, Mr. Mime, I'm rooting against you, but we're going to give our best shot here. So we're going to keep the Berry on since we have no damage dealing moves. And let's just see how Rival 1 goes. Mr. Mime, use Barrier repeatedly. You know, like in the anime, this would probably result in like us being immortal or something. But the fact that we're taking 1 damage per hit still does not bode well for this whole strategy of using Barrier. And I think it's pretty clear that what we actually need is to have at least, you know, 1 or 2 Barriers left and then use struggle strats. That's the way to go here. It's the only possible way that we're going to get through this fight against Rival 1. You might say, well, why not just lose to Rival 1? Well, then we're up against youngster Mikey in the same situation, and he has 2 Pokemon. So we'd be better off just struggling here and hopefully gaining the level that we need. So we're going to use struggle strats, guys. I know, you guys can be like, no, not struggle strats. And there we go. We have very little PP. Mr. Mime has a very tiny amount of PP, but he can use 1 Barrier and then go struggle. Let's see how this goes now against Rival 1. So here we're going to go Barrier, use Growl. It's fine. We're doing like 2 damage per hit here. He's doing a couple damage per hit here. Maybe if we had used 1 more Barrier, it would have been better, but we do get a heal up and at least we're going to do decent damage. He gets a 2nd critical hit though. That seems to me like really bad luck. Let's try this again. And this might be one where we actually needed 2 Barriers. So I'm just going to give myself 2 and just go with that. Just because I think we want to get him down to doing 1 damage per hit, and 2 Barriers is definitely enough to do that. So here, let's just save the game and try the Rival again. So this time with 2 Barriers, we do outspeed, so we get the first Barrier up, he uses Growl, we Barrier again, now he's doing 1 damage per hit, and we are doing 2 damage per hit. We're taking 1 damage as recoil every turn too, so it's kind of even, but there we got a critical hit and took him down below half health. I think we get through now. So the solution is 2 Barriers and then struggle with Mr. Mime, and you get through Rival 1 with the Barry on. keep in mind. And we did not level up to level 6. Oh, no. Oh, we're in the medium fast level up group, but it's just not enough. No, come on. What is this, Mr. Mime, you jerk? But here we go. I think we leave ourselves with one barrier and then try to fight youngster Mikey. Oh God. But we know sure enough that we would be able to go and find wild Pokemon, find a wild whatever, and just use a bunch of barriers and then run away. So clearly we could use up the PP here. So that's not the issue. We just need to be able to survive here against youngster Mikey and knock him out. So here, a barrier. And now we get to use struggle, which is like a 2-hit KO there. We don't quite get to level 6 there. So here, Rattata, we're back to using struggle here. He tail whips, very nice. So now we level up to level 6 and we get access to confusion. So we had to beat rival 1 and youngster Mikey just to get access to confusion. And now we probably have a chance at least. But yeah, struggle strats are in full effect here. Full effect. Okay, so here we go. We have made it to Falkner's gym. We've healed up. We are level 6. We've got 22 HP. Barrier and confusion. We've got 12 attack, 14 defense, 18 special attack, 21 special defense, 17 speed. Our speed is decent, but not enough to outspeed against Honest Abe. So we're going to give the berry here, save the game. I'm going to try first just using confusion strats, but if it doesn't work, given that we have fairly low defense, we're going to try barrier and then go into the confusion and see if that works. So Honest Abe, round 1. Here, let's just put confusion in the top slot. We took 7 damage there. We did 6 damage in return, and we heal up with the berry. So yeah, we get through. It's just a nice 3-hit KO. Very nice. We got decent ranges there. So here now I'm going to just pop a potion. Let's fight the God Rod. And the real difference here is that we're doing such good damage that was a 2-hit KO there on the first Pidgey. Here on the second Pidgey, we get a critical hit and we're going to knock it out and get to level 8 right there. So the God Rod really isn't that hard in most cases when you get through Honest Abe. But now we've got Falkner, and I do think we need to add the berry and save the game. The stats coming into Falkner are level 8 with 27 HP, same moveset of confusion and barrier. We've got 14 attack, 18 defense, 23 special attack, 26 special defense, 22 speed, so we'll outspeed the whole team. Let's just see how this goes. Can we just go all in on attack? That's the first question. Let's go. So Falkner, round 1. Confusion. Oh, we one-shot the Pidgey. I think that was a crit, but doesn't matter. We one-shot the Pidgey. Now Pidgeotto looks like a 3-hit KO and it's doing 6 damage per hit to us. So we get through without even activating the berry. Mr. Mime takes Falkner down. And now Mr. Mime, I don't think is going to struggle too much in the next section. I mean, the fact that we have access to a pretty good move. Confusion, we're going to get Mud Slap. So we have yet another coverage move in this section. I think is enough, right? We're also going to learn Substitute at level 11, Meditate at level 16. We've got some stuff coming in that could, in theory, at least help. The confusion should be more than enough to get through rival number 2, and it should be more than enough, I think, to get through all the rockets. So that's really just about Bugsy, and only his Scyther knows Fury Cutter, which will be super effective. The other Pokemon don't really have anything great against us, so I think Mr. Mime's gonna do all right for a minute, but he might hit a wall at some point. We'll just have to find out. So now we can go back here and we can see that Mr. Mime, has he successfully moved? Let's just see. Oh yes, sorry, I mistook. I was looking for him in the past and looking for him in the fail. He is a struggle Pokemon because he has to struggle on Rival 1 and on youngster Mikey. After that, he's perfectly fine, but we do have to put that asterisk there that he had to struggle in order to get through this first section. So with that Pokemon done, now I think it's time to look at some bug types and also to look at some steel types. So the way that I'm going to do this, I'm going to do Scizor and Skarmory and then come back and do Scyther and Pinsir. and just see how they match up. We're going to start off with Scizor, just because I'm really interested in how this Pokemon will perform. Basically, I mean, the benefit of Scizor is the fact that it should have decent stats and decent attack, but I'm not sure if it's going to actually be any good. So just like that, it is time to move on. And Scizor is kind of one of the coolest Pokemon, in my personal opinion. Definitely one of the cooler Pokemon that got added in Gen 2, and a much needed improvement given the fact that Scyther was just kind of trash in Gen 1. Now, Scyther can be good, but it all comes down to basically Swords Dance and Hyper Beam strats. Of course, it doesn't get through Brock on minimum battles, but after Brock, I was able to beat the entire game on minimum battles with his Scyther by using its incredibly good attack stats after it gets that Swords Dance. Basically just a bunch of Swords Dance Hyper Beam from then on out, and some Mimic strats so that you can get access to Earthquake in certain spots, etc. But here we're going to put this Pokemon, I believe, into the Chikorita Ball, just because we are going to deal with that fire weakness, that 4 times weakness to fire as we go through. But let's see how this Pokemon looks. So here we get our Scizor, and let's just check the moveset very quickly. We are starting with Quick Attack and Leer. So this, I think, overall is pretty decent, given the fact that, really, I mean, we're fairly defensive, and we've got good attack and good speed. And Quick Attack guarantees that we're going to outspeed our opponents anyway, so I think this will work. I'm at least reasonably confident this is going to work. So here we're just going to go through the early game, same as usual, but I do find it kind of interesting that they decided to take a bug Pokemon and make it a steel type. You know, like they did it twice with Pineco going into Fortress and with Scyther turning into Scizor. I don't know what the logic is for that, other than maybe certain insects have really strong chitinous shells, but maybe they're strong like steel? Not sure. If anybody knows the lore, why did they choose these Pokemon in particular to make steel types? I'd actually be really interested to hear it. Steelix made sense to me, right? You've got Onix, which is a rock Pokemon, and then it turns into Steelix, a steel Pokemon. Kind of made sense, but the other ones didn't quite make as much sense to me personally. Anyway, here we are, time for Rival 1. Let's go ahead and take off this berry. And I'm just going to save the game. Let's just try to fight our rival. So Rival 1, he's got his Cyndaquil out. I'm going to Leer him one time, and then we are guaranteed to outspeed with our Quick Attack. Look how much damage that did. Oh, look at that. This is like a 3-hit KO, and he does basically nothing back to us. So we easily beat Rival 1, and we get a move on. Now, we are in the medium-fast level up group, so we're not going to level up as fast here in the early game. We're going to get to Falkner at level 8, assuming we get there. The real question is Honest Abe. Honest Abe is the one that could wreck us because we're going to be at a lower level, and the fact that he's only going to use Peck, which will be neutrally effective here, we'll just have to see if it works out. It was not possible to get through that fight with Fortress, which had more defense, but here we've got more attack and we have Quick Attack to guarantee we hit first. That could make all the difference. So we've made it to Falkner's gym with Scizor, and look at that animation. Oh, this Pokemon was super cool. We're coming in at level 6. We've got 26 HP, Quick Attack, Leer, and Focus Energy, 22 attack, 18 defense, 13 special attack, 16 special defense, only 14 speed. But don't let that fool you, because that Quick Attack is going to let us attack first. So here I'm going to give a berry, of course, because I'm pretty sure we need it in this fight. But then let's try first just going all in on attack, and then we'll start messing with our other moves, Focus Energy and Leer, if we fail just with the all-out attack strat. So Honest Abe, round 1, Quick Attack appears to have done 6 damage. So this is going to be a 5-hit KO. He did 6 damage back to us, and we have the berry. Now, we got a critical hit from him, but we recovered, and I think we get through. Yeah, no need for any shenanigans there. Pretty nice. Now time for the God Rod, who should not be trouble, and then it's right on to Falkner. So very nice. We get through God Rod. We're at to level 8 at this point. So we've got 31 HP, Same moveset as before, but now 28 attack, 23 defense, 16 special attack, 20 special defense, and 18 speed. We're going to outspeed anyway thanks to our quick attacks, but this one I do think we need a berry and a quick heal. Let's save the game and let's fight this one. So for Falkner round 1, we don't really need to worry about Pidgey because it can't really do anything other than tackle, and tackle's only going to do like 1 damage, or oh, I guess it does Mud Slap and do 1 damage here. Ooh, interesting. And now our accuracy is down, but we do knock him out. Okay, now Pidgeotto, I believe, is just going to use Gust. It does 5 damage there. So now we have to heal up. We did 7 damage to him when we hit. We need 1 more hit here, and we get it. We survive with 1 HP. Oh, we got through with Scizor. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh, this legendary Pokemon. Oh, it just completely wrecked. We get the Zephyr badge. We beat Falkner without having to do any shenanigans at all on the first attempt. Are you kidding me? So that was ridiculous and awesome. So Scizor is through. Let's just check the stats here going into the next section. So here we've got Scizor up to level 9, 34 HP. I mean, I can't see any situation where we struggle in this next section, with the exception of the fact that we're not going to have anything good to use against the Ghastly, I don't think. Do we learn Mud Slap? That is the question. Here, let's go ahead and just check the stats here. Of course, we've got Scizor moving up into the winners column here, but I just want to see the moveset as we go through the game. And let's see. So we're going to learn Pursuit in the next section. That's actually good because that will give us a move that we can actually use in order to take down that Ghastly pretty reasonably. Anyway, Scizor, very nice. Now let's try another Steel type Pokemon. I think it's time for some Skarmory. So full disclosure, I did not even know Skarmory existed when the games originally came out. Like, it took me quite a while to actually encounter a Skarmory because, I mean, who takes the route back to New Barktown from Blackthorn? Like, why would you when, you know, you can just fly at that point? But Skarmory was a pretty cool Pokemon, and I think it was Stadium 2 when I finally encountered it and was like, that's a pretty cool Pokemon. I never realized it was that good though. I thought it was just kind of like a random, you know, Pokemon, just, you know, kind of meh. Didn't know that it was a steel bird. So here we have put Skarmory, of course, into the Chikorita Ball just so that we go up against that same Cyndaquil. Let's see how this one looks here. So we are starting with Leer and Peck as our moveset. And I think this is going to be pretty decent, but let's find out. The benefit that we have, of course, is that we're immune to Mud Slap, and we're going to have a same type attack bonus in Peck, and we're not going to take any damage really from any of the physical attacks. So I'm pretty sure that Skarmory just destroys this first gym. So here for Rival 1, we definitely do not need the berry. He's not going to do enough damage to us, I don't think. So let's just get into this fight here, where I think the strategy is pretty simple. I'm going to give him a Leer just because I can, just to lower his defense a bit, and now just start pecking. And it's basically the same thing as what we had with Scizor. It's a 2-hit KO even. So we're always winning that fight 100% of the time. I just don't see how we're ever going to struggle. So here we've made it to Falkner's gym. Skarmory is here at level 6 with 25 HP. We've got Peck and Leer. We've got 16 attack, 23 defense, 11 special attack, 15 special defense, 15 speed. But I'm going in without berries. I don't even think we need it. So here, Honest Abe, attempt number 1. And I'm just going Peck the whole way. We're not even going to mess with Leer's here. He's only doing 2 damage per hit, even though he's 3 levels higher than us. We wouldn't have even used a berry even if we had one on. Yeah, I mean, that was easy. So here we're all the way to Falkner himself. We were at level 7 because we're in this little level up group, but we've got 28 HP, same moveset, 18 attack, 26 defense, 12 special attack, 17 special defense, 17 speed. I think we got this. I think we just got this. Let's just go straight in. I'm not even going to bother healing. Falkner, let's see what you got, buddy. He can only go tackle here because Mud Slap we're immune to. So that's okay. It's a 4-hit KO there on the Pidgey. Now we've leveled up to level 8 as we move on to Pidgeotto. I'm going to just give it a Leer just because I can. He's only doing 2 damage per hit, and it looks like a 3-hit KO here. We get a critical hit. There we go. We took down Falkner on the first attempt. Didn't use any berries. Barely wasted time healing. Easy, easy game. Easy, easy, easy game. So now we can just check the stats as we come through here. We're at level 8. We've got 31 HP. Same moveset as before. 20 attack, 30 defense, 14 special attack, 18 special defense, 19 in speed. And I mean, like what more could you want in an early game Pokemon? Like, just add in the fact that Skarmory's got a great typing for Gen 2. It is actually not that great in terms of base stats. 80th or 86th out of 255. I thought it would be higher than that. But that 140 defense stat, pretty darn good. Just gonna say. Now going into the next section, we can look a little bit at the moveset here. We're gonna learn Sand Attack and Swift in this next section. We don't learn a Steel type move until Steel Wing at level 49. We'll also learn Fly later on as the same type move. But we will learn Mud Slap, so we get that coverage. We obviously learn Swift. If we learn it via level up, we're going to learn it via TM. So that gives us yet another move that we can use in order to deal some damage in this next section. And I mean, Peck is perfectly fine for fighting against ghosts. The rival's Cyndaquil, Quilava, I don't think is going to be a major issue, especially because we can just Mud Slap it to death. So I think this is going to be a pretty easy next section of the game. That being said, I could always be surprised by something. There could be something that pops up and just completely destroys us. But for now, Skarmory is through. We have gotten, I mean, kind of mixed results at this point. Of course, Staryu did not get through, but we've gotten through with everything else at this point. Mantine was rough. Skarmory was easy. We've kind of just seen the whole spectrum here. So we're up to 123 Pokemon getting through, 9 Pokemon struggling, and 67 failing, but still pretty nice. So now it's time to get into the bug types. So we're going to start with Pinsir, then come back to Scyther, just see if either of them has any shot against Falkner. We got to be real though. I mean, these bug types could just completely get wrecked right here, and that might be the end of them. So coming back in here with Pinsir, I mean, the only thing that I really knew Pinsir for back in the day when these games originally came out was Samurai in the Pokemon anime, who Ash meets in Viridian Forest, and his Pinsir loses to Ash's Metapod. That's all we need to say. He tries to use Vice Grip on a Metapod that's used lots of hardens, and somehow, anime world, that means that Pinsir loses the battle. So yeah, Pinsir did not get a lot of respect in Gen 1, in spite of the fact that it's made to have really good stats. Like, it just doesn't really stack up to other Pokemon. Now, Vice Grip honestly is nothing to sneeze at. It's fairly strong, of course, and it is a move that was pretty much signature to only Pinsir and to like the Krabby line in Gen 1. So it was kind of cool move, especially when you got it early game and you could use it for decent damage. The problem in Gen 1 was just that Pinsir didn't learn any good moves, and it didn't have any same type moves. So it just kind of was trashed late in the game. It couldn't do anything to anything, especially just because normal type moves without the normal typing just doesn't really do much for you. Fighting type moves, I mean, you only had Submission in Gen 1, like as far as an actual damage dealing fighting type move that it could learn, and Submission was just trash. So you just basically ended up saying anything but this Pokemon. Okay, so here, let's go ahead and take on Rival 1 with our Pinsir, where I actually think we're going to do pretty decent here, given our pretty decent attack stat and Vice Grip. But let's just see. Here, I'm not even going to bother taking off the berry. So here he sends out his Cyndaquil. We go Vice Grip. It's looking like a 3-hit KO, 2-hitter with critical hit. We didn't even take any damage against Rival 1. So he was just as easy as we expected. So here we have gotten to Falkner's gym with our Pinsir. We're coming at level 6 with 25 HP. We know Vice Grip. We've got 21 attack, 18 defense, 13 special attack, 15 special defense, and 17 speed. We're not going to quite match the speed of Honest Abe here. I'm worried because of the super effective Peck. Now, we are in a situation with a 55 base power move that if we fail here, there's no point using Struggle because Struggle's only 50 base power. But let's just see if we can even get through with the berry against Honest Abe. We might need a critical hit here. So round 1 against Honest Abe, he does 12 damage. Vice Grip does about 9 damage. Now he gets us down to 1 HP there. We recover to 11, but he's just going to knock us out right there. So I think we need at least a critical hit to have a shot of getting through this one. Yeah. And the critical hit just does not get us through. And like I said, this is a Pokemon, right? Where there's not really any point in using struggle strats because Vice Grip is already 55 base power. So, I mean, there's just no benefit. You're just going to have a lower power plus recoil, which makes no benefit here. I don't think at least it makes any benefit, given that the berry only heals 10 damage. If we had some way to get like a gold berry that would heal 20 damage, well then sure, we could sit here and grind and try to get this to work. But it's so incredibly close. It's pretty clear that you could probably just go take 1 or 2 extra battles with this Pokemon, gain an extra level, and then just come back here and get through Honest Abe. And then maybe it has a shot against Falkner with the extra levels that it would gain here. It's a slow level up Pokemon though. So here we're just gonna eliminate Pinsir. He's out of there. Sorry, Pinsir. You're just not good enough. In Gen 2 or Gen 1, you just don't get through the first gym on minimum battles. So now it's time to see if Scyther has any shot or not. I'm not sure if it does, but we're gonna try. So Scyther's turn to shine. And I mean, it does have decent attack and good speed. I'm just not super confident in everything else. We'll just have to see if it gets through or not. But I mean, we're going to start the game, I believe, with quick attack, which should mean we outspeed. So we get the advantage of maybe getting 1 extra hit or having the chance to get that critical hit earlier. And maybe it works out. I'm not sure. So here, of course, we've put Scyther into the Chikorita ball. Let's just pick it up and start this run. Let's see what our moveset is here. We are starting just like Scizor with quick attack and Leer. Makes sense because I believe it's just a metal coat to evolve. So first things first, let's take on Rival 1. I'm just going to keep the berry on, but let's see if we can just beat him with our quick attacks here. So I'm going to Leer him first. He fails Leer, and now quick attack looks to be a 2 or 3 hit KO, same as Scizor. So easy win right there. I mean, the big difference between this Pokemon and Scizor obviously is slightly with type effectiveness, since we're going to be weak to flying as opposed to neutrally affected. We're neutrally affected by normal, things like that. But the other factor here, of course, is that our defense stat is a lot lower. We have better speed, but lower defense. And I mean, the attack is still really, really good. So we're just going to have to see if that turns out to be enough or not as we go through this section of the game. So here we've made it to Falkner's gym. We're at level 6. We've got 26 HP. Scyther has learned Focus Energy, so now it's got Quick Attack, Leer, and Focus Energy. The berry's on, of course. And we've got 20 attack, 16 defense, 13 special attack, 16 special defense, and a whopping 19 in speed. So we'll basically outspeed everything. It's actually a speed tie with the first Spearow, but that doesn't really matter. Let's just see if we can win this or not. So we're going to lead off just with attacks. Let's just see if quick attack does enough. It's looking to do 6 damage here. We took 13 damage. So 2 turns to knock us out there from Honest Abe. So let's now see if we can maybe Leer or something to get an advantage here. And it looks like there's a range where he only does 12 damage, which is pretty good. Now we still would need, I think, at least a critical hit here. Oh, there he got a weaker range. Wait a second. And we get 1 more hit. There is a chance for him to do only 11 damage. Oh, we got the lucky range and we get through with 1 HP remaining, but now we level up. So we're up to level 7. We can heal up and go fight the God Rod. Even without a critical hit, we're getting through this one. So God Rod goes down. we get to move on to Falkner. So let's heal up, let's give another berry, save the game, and now let's just try. Let's see if we can win or not. So here against Falkner, I think my strategy is to use Focus Energy first against the Pidgey, and then I'll even Leer it just because I can, and there we knock it out with a critical hit. Nice. Against Pidgeotto, I'm going to give it a Leer just in case. We took decent damage there, and it's looking like 12 damage per hit. We get the critical hit there, but it survives with 1 HP. Are you kidding me? Oh, and the first Pidgey got a critical hit against us too, so I think we have to reset and try this again. So here, let's just Focus Energy. Let's give a Leer. Not sure if this is even a good strategy or not, but we knock out the Pidgey there. We've got 25 HP. Here, I'm going to give a Leer to Pidgeotto. It's doing 12 damage per hit. We get a nice critical hit there, though. And there we get the range to knock it out. So second attempt is all we needed to take down Falkner with Scyther. That is pretty legit. Not gonna lie. We got to be real. Like, was Scyther good here? No, it was pretty bad. It took a lot of luck. We had to get a really lucky range on Honest Abe. Then we just had to get, you know, pretty much perfect luck on Falkner as well. But it does have enough to get through this section of the game. This is a Pokemon where I'm really interested to see how it does when it beats Bugsy and gets access to Fury Cutter, which is going to be a same type move. So we're definitely going to want to take on Bugsy before rival number 2, I think, with this one. But then it might be okay. It might just be able to build up that Fury Cutter and then hopefully use that to get through Bugsy's team. It's not necessarily going to be easy, but it should be possible. Or sorry, rival 2's team. What am I talking about? Should be able to build up the Fury Cutter and then maybe get through rival 2's team. So yeah, looking now at the pass and fail Pokemon, we have added Scyther to the pass column. So Pinsir has failed and Staryu has failed, which means I have to beat Falkner with all the rest of these Pokemon if my prediction from the beginning of 14 getting through is going to be right. Oh, I don't think that's going to happen, but still, it's always fun to try. So next up, we're going to come back. We're going to compare the 3 baby Pokemon and just see how they go and then try their evolved forms. So we'll try the evolved forms first and then try the babies. Let's just see how they go. So here, I'm going to go with Jynx first. I think Jynx has the best shot of getting through Falkner on minimum battles. It's the only one of these next 3 Pokemon that does not have a type disadvantage here, at least in terms of getting hit by Mud Slap. And, you know, I mean, like nothing's going to be super effective other than Mud Slap against Electabuzz and Magmar. They should be able to get to Falkner. I'm not worried about that. But it's the Falkner fight and the accuracy strats that make me a bit nervous. I predicted at the beginning, just full disclosure, that it was going to be Magby and Elekid that didn't get through this section. I just had a feeling that maybe Jynx and Smoochum would get through, but let's find out if that turns out to be the case or not. So first things first, we got to see what is our moveset. We are starting here with Pound, Lick, Lovely Kiss, and Powder Snow. Oh, that's kind of nice. Powder Snow's not super strong, but it is at least the same type move. It's going to be super effective against the flying types, and it's going to use our much better special stat. So I think this is going to be a cakewalk with our Jynx. Now, what I will say is that Jynx is right up there with Mr. Mime in terms of Pokemon that I found horrifying as a kid. I mean, Auntie Olga, as she's known since we did the full game solo challenge with Jynx in Gen 1, is truly terrifying. Imagine that coming to give you a kiss. Just saying. So here, we're going to try Rival 1. I don't think we need to do anything here. Let's just go straight into this fight. Now, I'm pretty sure from Gen 2 onward, Ice is resisted by Fire, so I think we go Lovely Kiss, put it to sleep, and then just take it to Pound Town. Oh yeah, Auntie Olga's super creepy. Kisses you, puts you to sleep, and takes you to Pound Town, guys. Never fall asleep around Auntie Olga, that's all I'm saying. Oh man, Pokemon, terrible, terrible I say. So here we are. We have made it to Falkner's gym with ugly Barbara Streisand. And we're at level 6. We've got 25 HP. We know Pound Lick, Lovely Kiss, Powder Snow. We've got 12 attack, 11 defense, 20 special attack, 18 special defense, 18 speed. We're not going to quite match the speed of the first Spearow here and Honest Abe's team. I don't think it matters. Let's just try this. We're going straight for Powder Snow. Not even going to try with the sleep strats. It's a 2-hit KO. Didn't even use the berry. Come on. Level up to level 7 right there. So here now we can go fight the God Rod. This should be another easy one, I think. Here we're just going to use Powder Snow and one shot. Let's try another one. Oh, he survives. Barely. Take him to Pound Town. So now we get to level 8 off of the God Rod. We can move right on to good old Falkner. We have not yet used the berry. Let's just save the game. Check the horrifying stats of Jynx. We are at level 8. We've got 31 HP. Same moveset as before, but now 15 attack, 13 defense, 26 special attack, 22 special defense, and 23 speed. So we do have the speed advantage now. And I think we're just going to mop up with this one. But let's see. So here, first things first, Powder Snow time. We just one-shot the Pidgey. Against Pidgeotto, we outspeed, and we get a critical hit to one-shot Pidgeotto. So we took no damage and completely destroyed Falkner, and we didn't even have to give him a kiss and take him to Pound Town. So very nice. So yeah, Jynx, pretty good looking for the next section. I think Jynx is going to be basically fine going into the next section because Bugsy, while yes, technically he's using bug types, Scyther is a flying type, so it's going to have a disadvantage against our Powder Snow. And we've got Lovely Kiss as a way to get through basically anything. And that's really a strategy. Like, Sleep is still pretty OP in Gen 2. So the fact that we can just put our opponents to sleep, I think is going to be more than enough to get through this next section. I don't think we're going to need to get up to many shenanigans. So Jynx gets to move on. Now it's time to see if Magmar or Electabuzz can do what Jynx has just done. So here we're going to do Electabuzz next. I think Electabuzz has the next best chance because if it's anything like Jynx starting with the same type move, then it should have an electric move. Electric obviously is super effective against the flying types. So in spite of the fact that we're going to get mud slapped, we'll at least, hopefully, have a move that does decent damage back. Let's find out if that's actually the case though. So here we've got Electabuzz inside of the Totodile Ball. So we can go up against the Chikorita line. Let's just see what our actual moveset is here. And sure enough, we are starting the game with Thunder Punch and Quick Attack. And I think this is more than enough to get us through because Thunder Punch, 75 base power, same type move, and super effective. I don't think we've ever seen a Pokemon fail with a move that strong. So I think this one's a shoo-in, but I don't know. The accuracy strats from Falkner could, keyword could, make this one less than perfectly consistent. So first things first, we got to take on our rival. I'm just going to leave everything as it is and get into this fight. Now, this is a spot where, I mean, Thunder Punch technically is resisted, so we might not want to use it here. Not sure. Clearly my damage calculation's not working right over there though, because it seems like maybe it's quartering the damage, which should not be the case. But here I'm just going to use a Leer and then Quick Attack him. I don't know, let's just see how much Thunder Punch does, even though it's not very effective. Does seem to be doing more damage since we got the Growl, so there we go. Easy win. We did use the berry, we didn't actually need to use the berry, so it's a wasted berry, but I don't think it's going to matter in this next section at least. So here we are at Falkner's gym. Coming in at level 6, we've got 25 HP, Quick Attack, Leer, and Thunder Punch. We've got 16 attack, 13 defense, 18 special attack, 17 special defense, 19 speed. We're already in a speed tie with the Spearow, plus the super effective move. I think we're just going to destroy Honest Abe. This guy, he's got hair sticking up. We're going to really make his hair stick up by just one-shotting his Spearow. Oh, look at that. Look at the mohawk going on there with this guy. His hair's sticking straight up because we just zapped him, guys. Time to take on God Rod and get to Falkner with a super easy run. So yeah, the God Rod is just 2 easy one-hit KOs. And now for Falkner, let's check the stats as we come in. We're at level 8. We've got 31 HP. We know Quick Attack, Leer, and Thunder Punch. And I'm willing to bet that we just get through this with super effective Thunder Punches. Let's just see. So here is Falkner attempt number 1. I'm going to Thunder Punch his Pidgey, and that is a one-hit KO. Now here, Pidgeotto is a one-hit KO with Thunder Punch. Thunder Punch is just way too OP for this section of the game. And yeah, so we get through Falkner with really no problem. The question is, what is Elekid gonna know? But Electabuzz shouldn't actually be that bad. Like, we're in the same situation as Jynx, where against Scyther, we're gonna have this really strong, same type super effective move. We should just destroy Bugsy, I think. So then it really just comes down to Rival 2. But Thunder Punch is gonna be fine against Ghastly. It's gonna destroy the Zubat. So it's just Bayleaf, and I think we're going to get through Bayleaf just fine. I don't think Bayleaf is that scary. Pretty sure we get Swift in the next section. We get Mud Slap. We should just pretty well wreck for a little while with our very nice Electabuzz here. Anyway, so that's 2 of these Pokemon through. Now let's check out Magmar, see if he can match. He's kind of got the worst situation, given that I don't think he's going to get a super strong move at the beginning of the game, but we'll see. But the other disadvantage, of course, is that he doesn't have a type advantage against Falkner. So we'll just have to see, I guess. But let's try it. So it is time for Blaine's Ace, Magmar. Was actually a pretty cool Pokemon in Gen 1, I have to say. Just because, I mean, it got great type coverage. It could learn like Psychic and whatnot in Gen 1. As well as just being a pretty cool looking fire type. But fire types just got destroyed in the first generation. Just absolutely wrecked. It's not Brock that gets them. It's the Misty section, and then it's much later in the game when you get to like Giovanni. Oh my god. Just terrible. But here we put Magmar inside the Cyndaquil ball. We'll go up against the Totodile line as we continue. But let's just see how he goes. And let's check his starting moveset here. All right, and we are actually starting with Fire Punch and Ember and Smog. I mean, that Leer is basically useless, but I guess Fire Punch might just get us through this. So here, let's save the game and get into the Rival 1 fight. We've got Fire Punch as the same type move, which I think should make it reasonably strong. That damage calculation, the power calculation is clearly off. I need to work on that. We are doing about 6 damage here, so we should get through with 4 hits. He just gets us in the berry range, but we're going to easily win every time there against Rival 1. So here we can see the real power of Fire Punch against youngster Mikey, where we're just going to one-shot his Pidgey, level up to level 6, and then we just one-shot his Rattata as well. I don't think we're going to have super huge problems against Honest Abe, given that he's just going to use Peck every single turn, but that's not really the one we're worried about. It's all about Falkner here. Falkner is where it gets iffy just due to the fact that we might have the accuracy drops, and the accuracy drops could just completely wreck this Pokemon. But with that said, here we are in the gym, level 6. We've got 25 HP, Ember, Leer, Smog, and Fire Punch. We could always go for some like lucky poison strats if we're just kind of on the cusp or something. And yeah, the stats at the end, we've got 18 attack, 13 defense, 18 special attack, 17 special defense, 18 speed. We're not going to be quite fast enough in this first fight. Not sure if it's going to matter though. Let's just get into this fight and try. Let's put Fire Punch in the top slot too. So Peck did 8 damage, but we did like 15 damage with Fire Punch. So in 2 hits, we knock him out. Very nice. But we're not one-shotting here, and that could be the issue. Let's just see how we do against the God Rod here. It's an easy 2-hit KO on the first Pidgey. So we're probably going to end up taking 1 Mud Slap from Falkner's Pidgey before we get to Pidgeotto. So here, let's give a berry. Let's check the stats here on Magmar. We're at level 8, 31 HP. Basically the same as what we had with Electabuzz and Jynx. We've got the same moveset, but now 22 attack, 16 defense, 23 special attack, 21 special defense, 22 speed. So we've got enough speed to get through this one for sure. But let's see if we can get through without tons of accuracy drops. So Falkner attempt number 1. We're going to Fire Punch, and we get the 1-hit KO on the Pidgey, so no damage. Now to Pidgeotto. We do about half. It uses Gust. Oh, we're getting through this one easily. We get to level 9, and Magmar has beaten Falkner on minimum battles. That is ridiculous. So, yeah. I gotta say, this one, I predicted that it would beat Falkner. I did not think that this was going to be that easy. That was ridiculously easy, but I just didn't realize that we were going to start with Fire Punch, which is way OP for the early game. Now we got to try the babies, though, and I don't think the babies are going to get the moves, so we just have to hope and pray that we can find some way through these fights. Let's start with Smoochum and then move our way through Elekid and Magby and see if we can get them all through. I'm really mostly nervous about Elekid and Magby. I think Smoochum's going to be fine, but let's find out. So it's shocking to me, as horrifying as Jynx is, they actually managed to make Smoochum kind of cute. Oh man, I have no idea what the moveset is going to be for this Pokemon though, so I'm kind of nervous. If we get something like Lovely Kiss at the beginning, then I think we're fine, because I think we can just hope for really good sleep luck and eventually get through a fight. But without something like that, if we just got like something like Pound at the beginning of the game, then I think we're in bad shape. So here we've put Smoochum into the Chikorita Ball, so we'll be up against the Cyndaquil line. Let's just see the moveset here. We are starting with Pound and Lick. Oh god, that is not the moveset that I wanted to see. We'll learn Sweet Kiss at level 9. Powder Snow comes in at 13, but we're not going to get there in this section. So yeah, this could turn out to be a bad situation. This could turn out to just be one where we do not have enough power to get through the key opponents. Lick is useless, obviously, because we're not going to be able to use Lick on any of these opponents here in the early game. Now, it's pretty clear if you just leveled up to level 13, you definitely get through this whole section easily, because Powder Snow, same type move, and being at a higher level than Falkner, I just see no way that you would fail there. But with this moveset, it is kind of questionable if we even stand a chance. So here, I'm not even going to take the berry off. I think we need it. Let's fight Rival 1. Let's just see. So here, Rival 1 time, I'm just going to go Pound the whole way. We're doing 3 damage per hit. He's doing more damage than that to us. He's doing like 6 damage. We got a critical hit though. So we do get through with the berry there. Very nice. So this is a Pokemon where even youngster Mikey might actually be an interesting fight, because we took 5 damage there from the Pidgey. So we're, we get to level 6, but we've only got 15 HP here going into Rattata. Uses Tail Whip twice, and Tackle takes us down to 6 HP. So yeah, this is not looking good. We've only got 8 defense, guys. Like, this is not the situation we want to be in against Honest Abe. With a super effective move, we might just be able to match up and get through it, but I think we're going to get destroyed here just because we have no defensive stats. That's my prediction anyway. Let's see if it actually pans out that way. So here, coming into Falkner's gym, we're at level 6. We've got 23 HP, Pound and Lick, 10 attack, 8 defense, 17 special attack, 14 special defense, 14 speed. Man, we really needed Powdered Snow. I think. I just don't think we get through without it. But here, let's try Honest Abe. We've got the berry on. First attempt. We're going to go for the Pound, as we took 12 damage there from the first peck. It's not even super effective, but he's taking this down to 3 hits. We only got him down to 21 HP. There is no way that we get through this. Like, yes, struggle would be 50 base power, but then we'd have recoil, and with our measly 10 attack stat, it's not gonna work. This Spearow has 11 defense, but it's more importantly going to always outspeed, and it's got 17 attacks, so it's just gonna take us down every time. So I think Smoochum has to say bye-bye. Kiss her goodbye. She's gone. Time to try Elekid. So it is Elekid time. I'm not sure what he knows. If he gets an electric type move, then I think we're golden. Otherwise, I think we're getting wrecked here. But it's kind of expected. I mean, early on, we did really well with the baby Pokemon with Igglybuff and Cleffa and Pichu. That got me confident in these babies, but probably overly confident because then Togepi failed, Tyrogue failed. I just don't see any way that we're going to get through here with a lot of these. Like Magby is probably getting wrecked is my guess. Elekid might be the only one that has hope. The only one that has hope. Here we have Elekid in the Totodile Ball. Let's go ahead and see the moveset here. Quick Attack and Leer. So, I mean, Quick Attack is kind of nice in the fact that we can hit first, but we can see our defense is still really low. Yeah, I mean, speed is our only good stat. Ah, man. So now it comes down to, do we get any level up moves in this section at all? Like, I think we can get through Honest Abe just because we'll resist Peck. So we'll actually take less damage from Peck. So it looks like we get Thunder Punch at level 9. If we can get to level 9 somehow, we will actually have an advantage. I'm just not sure if we get to level 9 after we beat Falkner. So here, Rival 1, let's just try this guy here. We can obviously use Leer and then go into our quick attacks. He misses the first growl, so I think that's the advantage we need to just be able to whittle him down from here. We did use the berry, but we get through, no problem. So here we are, we have made it to Falkner's gym. Level 6, 23 HP, quick attack and Leer. We've got 14 attack, 11 defense, 14 special attack, 13 special defense, and 18 speed. Speed shouldn't matter too much given the fact that we have the quick attack on. We're definitely going to give a berry just to be safe. And let's just try this fight against Honest Abe here. So even though we've only got 11 attack, we do resist his moves. So he only did 4 damage there. I'm going to use 1 Leer. And now we seem to be doing 6 damage per hit. We heal up with the berry. So getting through Honest Abe should be just fine there. We get to level 7, no problem. This is one where God Rod is actually a little more scary since Tackle is neutrally effective. So let's just see how we do here. Yeah, we appear to be a 5-hit KO from him. So we definitely needed the berry, which I did not put on. So there we got the Leer and we got a miss, but then he critical hit me. But we do manage to get through on the second attempt with the berry and a little bit of Leer stratting. So here we're going to heal up, give a berry again. We're coming into Falkner now with Elekid at level 8. And I don't think we're going to be able to get to having access to Thunder Punch in this one. I think we'll get it after we beat the Pidgeotto. So we're going to have to just go with Quick Attack and Leer. We've got 17 attack, 13 defense, 18 special attack, 16 special defense, 22 speed. This is not looking very good, but let's try it. So here against Falkner, we're going to lead off with Leer. He mud slaps for 5 damage. Now I'm going to give him the quick attacks. It's a 3-hit KO after using one of our Leers. Here we Leer on Pidgeotto. It tackles us and it's doing 8 damage per hit and we just couldn't land a hit. But it looks like we're probably taking at least 3 mud slaps here from the Pidgey. And it looks like it's not even it looks like a 4-hit KO if we don't use Leer. So I don't think Leer actually gets us any benefit because we use Leer and then it's a 3-hit KO. But either way, it's taken 4 turns. The only advantage of using quick attack is that we could get a critical hit. So we knocked that one out, but there we only do 5 damage without a Leer and we're getting wrecked. Now Tackle has a 5% chance to miss, but I'm just not sure that this is even close enough. But what is also clear is that, man, if you just went off and took like 1 or 2 optional battles and got that Thunder Punch, you would just come in here and completely wreck this entire fight with Falkner. So Elekid basically going to get eliminated, but it's not that far off. It's pretty close, but there we lost to the Pidgey. I think that Elekid just has to be knocked off the list. I just don't see any way that it actually justifies you know, even just attempting more than this. It's always going to take at least 3 accuracy drops on the first Pidgey. Like, even with perfect luck, even with every single hit hitting, maybe 2 if we get all the critical hits. But then Pidgeotto is doing way too much damage, even with just tackle. It's just doing too much damage to us. So Elekid, we're just going to have to eliminate. It's out of there. So that leaves Magby, the last baby Pokemon of today. Let's see how it does. So it is Magby time, and the only way I see Magby having any shot here is if it starts with a better move. If it starts with like Ember, it could actually be pretty decent, given the fact that with Ember, Stab Ember, it would be doing decent damage against opponents, I think. We can see, just looking over there on the left side, right now it shows the base stats before I actually pick up the Pokemon. So we can see that attack and special attack are pretty decent, speed is pretty decent, HP, defense, and special defense are pretty bad for Magby. Just saying, not anything to write home about, nothing to get excited about there, but you know, if we have access to Ember, it would be pretty good with our decent special attack. Let's just see though. So we've got Magby in the Cyndaquil ball. We're going to pick it up. Let's see the moveset here. We start with Ember. I don't know, guys. I don't know. This one I'm kind of on the fence about. Little Magby might actually have a shot. So here, let's try Rival 1 though. We're going to have a type disadvantage. So we're just going to have to hope that Ember does enough damage here with the berry on. We're doing like 2 damage here. We could get a burn. Oh yeah, there's the burn. Okay. So now we're doing some extra damage and we cut his attack stat in half, which is pretty useful. Plus we get a heal up. I think that's what we needed to get through the Totodile, honestly. So there we go. Magby wins the first fight on the first attempt. Very nice. So now on youngster Mikey, I think Ember is going to be more than enough. We get the burn yet again on Pidgey. Very nice. And that could be the luck that we need. There could be a spot where we just need to get a burn so that we cut the opponent's attack stat in half, and then it allows us to get through. So these fire types get a little bit of an extra advantage in that sense. So here we have made it to Falkner's gym. Magby is at level 6 with 23 HP. We only know Ember. We've got 15 attack, 11 defense, 15 special attack, 13 special defense, and 16 speed. Let's go ahead and give a berry. Let's try the Honest Abe fight. Like I said, we might need a burn. It's a 10% chance, and that could be what it takes to get through this one. Let's find out. So here, Honest Abe round 1. Peck does 9 damage. So here we get a heal up with our berry. So we get to 15 HP there. But yeah, this one looks like it's coming down to either a critical hit or a burn. The burn is actually more likely, I think, than the critical hit. So we just have to hope for it. There we get the burn. Oh, very nice. Now we get a heal up with the berry. And he's only doing 5 damage per hit, so we easily get through there. We learned Leer via level up, not that it's particularly useful. But here, let's just give another berry, save the game, and let's fight Rod. So I'm just going to try to go all in on Ember here, because I don't think there's really any benefit to Leer unless we decide to go struggle strats. Here we are doing pretty decent damage though, and we've got to keep in mind, Ember is effectively a 60 base power move in the hands of Magby. So there's not really any benefit to going for struggle anyway. So here I'm just going to give my last berry to Magby, save the game, and let's see the stats as we go into Falkner. We're here at level 8, 27 HP. We know Ember and Leer, of course. We've got 19 attack, 13 defense, 18 special attack, 16 special defense, 21 speed. We're going to outspeed both Pokemon. And if we can just get some critical hits and things like that, we might be able to get through this. Let's just see. Good old Falkner. So here, Ember does 12 damage there. We get 1 accuracy drop. Oh, and now we're just missing everything. It started off looking so promising. It's a 2-hit KO on that Pidgey, but now we're just missing. But there we did decent damage to the Pidgeotto. What is that, 14 HP? And we get the burn? I mean, it was a critical hit, but that was pretty close. I think if we get just slightly better luck, we can actually get through this one. Let's try, though. I think we need to not get a miss on Pidgey and knock it out in 2 turns. I think that's what we're looking for. Okay, we at least get through without any misses there. And we get the luck to survive on 1 HP as we knock out Falkner. No critical hits or burns there. Just we never missed. That was it. We just never missed. And we were able to beat Falkner with Magby. So funny enough, Smoochum fails, Elekid fails, Magby is just fine here. It's not great, but it gets through. And it's gonna do the best of the 3, I think, on the next section against Bugsy. So yeah, I don't know, guys. Maybe Magby is gonna be decent in this run, at least until Whitney. Whitney with the rollouts, I think, is just gonna destroy it, but up until that point, we're just gonna do our best and just see. Maybe Magby can make some noise for a minute. Hold it down for the babies. You know what I'm saying? So here we've got 2 more Pokemon to go. Let's just look at our progress so far. Here we have, of course, added Elekid and Smoochum to the fail column, but the evolved forms, Jynx, Electabuzz, Magmar, and Magby all join the pass column. So 128 Pokemon have passed so far, and we're looking at only 70 Pokemon failing, with 9 having used struggle. That's pretty nuts. Just saying, we're keeping this basically not quite a 2-to-1 advantage of Pokemon that pass versus fail, but still pretty good. Now it's time for Houndoom and Houndour. And Houndoom I always thought was like one of the coolest designs in Gen 2, so I'm hoping this Pokemon is just going to completely crush it. But who knows, maybe we're going to get all the bad accuracy luck here. So there is Houndour, the dark fire type. I remember this was maybe when I played Pokemon Stadium 2 for the very first time. I was doing, I forget which one of the cups in there, but Houndoom came out and I was like, that Pokemon is cool. And then it destroyed me because I didn't know what was good against dark type. Clearly I didn't know, because even earlier on this channel I didn't know what was good against dark type. You know, it's the downside of basically being a Gen 1 only player is that when you play only Gen 1, you end up in this situation where you don't know how dark type works. You don't really know how steel type works. Definitely don't know how fairy type works. But here we are. We have made it to Gen 2, and I think we're going to do pretty well here. I'm sure this Pokemon's going to have a decent moveset. So let's just get it and find out. Can Houndoom and Houndour just succeed and take down Falkner? So first things first, Houndoom, just super awesome Pokemon. Let's see the moveset though. We are starting with Ember and Leer. So we're basically Magby. You know, just I've never understood why fire types would get this type of moveset. Like, this is the Vulpix moveset, basically. You know, Vulpix, it was Tail Whip and Leer rather than, or Tail Whip and Ember rather than, you know, Leer and Ember. But I just never understood it. Like, the 2 moves just don't work together at all. So why have them be a starting moveset? Like, I can understand level up moves where you have to think ahead and you have to kind of know what's coming in order to know, oh, okay, this one's going to be good, that one's going to be bad, whatever. Just never understood the Leer Tail Whip plus Ember combo though. So here, let's save the game. I'm just going to keep everything as it is as we take on Rival 1, since we don't have a neutrally effective attacking move. But let's just see how we do here. I'm going to put Ember in the top slot. It's the only move that's worth using. We get the burn again on Totodile. Oh, Totodile, you deserve this. Yes, he's burned, and we're just going to keep using Ember over and over again. He gets a critical hit to make us use the berry, but we easily win against Rival 1. Now, we are in the slow level up group, which is kind of bad because we're not going to gain levels as quickly, which means those mud slaps are going to be a little more painful, especially for Houndour. Not sure how that's going to work out. All right, so Falkner time. We're in his gym. We're here at level 6, 26 HP. Ember and Leer. We've got 17 attack, 12 defense, 20 special attack, 16 special defense, 18 speed. We're going to be outsped in this first battle, but we're going to give a berry here. save the game and just try to beat Honest Abe. Might come down to burn luck, might come down to a critical hit, but let's just see. So first things first, his peck was a critical hit. It did 13 damage there. Ember from us did about 9, so it's a 3-hit KO. Here we get a heal up. We've got 16 HP, and he's just survived with 1 HP there. So we just need to get the range or get the burn. The burn, I think, just guarantees a win here. So, and hopefully this time no critical hit, so he only does 8 damage there. Now we get a heal up, so we should get 2 more hits. And then as long as he doesn't crit me here, very nice. We actually are able to beat Honest Abe. Not really a problem. So here, let's give another berry and heal up very quickly, fight the God Rod, and then make our way to Falkner. Okay, so we have made it to Falkner. I'm going to now heal up, give a berry, and let's check the stats here. We're in the slow level up group, so we're only here at level 7 with 29 HP. We now know Ember, Leer, and Roar, since at level 7 we just learned that move. Could be interesting. We've got 19 attack, 14 defense, 22 special attack, 18 special defense, and 20 speed. The only interesting thing here is that Roar means that we could phase here and force him to bring out his Pidgeotto, which might not use Mud Slap against us. And we might be able to get an advantage by knocking out the Pidgeotto first. Gonna have to see if it works though. First, let's just go all in on attack, and then we'll mess around with some other strategies here. So first things first, against Falkner's Pidgeotto, we're not quite doing half damage there with our Ember. So it turns out to be a 3-hit KO here. So yeah, the Roar might actually be worthwhile. And here we're just missing everything against Pidgeotto, so we lose the first attempt. Yeah. Let's try the second attempt here. We did see that Pidgeotto was in fact using Gust against us. So now we have higher accuracy after using Roar. So Gust takes us down. Oh, you got the critical hit. So we didn't even get through Pidgeotto there due to the critical hit, and a burn might have helped us there though. So let's try this again. So I'm going to go with the Roar strat, get Pidgeotto out there. We do outspeed Pidgeotto, fortunately. Now we get a heal up to 18 HP. Okay, but we're just not getting through with enough HP there. We leveled up to level 8 here though. Let's just see, because now if it's a 2-hit KO, yes, Houndoom gets through with 1 HP remaining. So it is possible to get through there, and it's kind of interesting that the Roar strat works, at least as far as getting Pidgeotto out while you still have higher accuracy. Like, I never would have thought about that in the past, but Roar is actually useful here if your whole goal is to just avoid the accuracy drops, given that you're gonna probably make back that turn by not taking as many accuracy drops at the beginning before you get to Pidgeotto. So sure, you attack second, but it worked. So yeah, Houndoom has succeeded. It does in fact beat Falkner on minimum battles. Now the question is, how are we gonna do moving forward? Slow level up group is kind of scary in this spot. Let's move on to Houndour. He might just get wrecked, but let's see. So here we are. We do get access to Houndour. He is in the slow level up group, of course, so we're not going to gain as many levels as like Magby before. That's the other disadvantage, but we start with the same moveset, Leer and Ember. Very nice. So here we're going to save the game, and we're going to take on Rival 1, keep the berry on. We might need the burn here. Let's just find out. So here, let's put Ember in the top slot. And okay, he misses a Leer turn 1. We seem to be doing 3 damage per hit here. We heal up with the berry, but he's doing like 5 damage there. Oh, but we get the burn, so there we go. We get through on the first attempt against Rival 1. It was pretty close, but Houndour does get the job done. So here, coming into the gym, we're at level 6. We've got 23 HP. Ember and Leer, 14 attack, 10 defense, 16 special attack, 12 special defense, 14 speed. We're going to give the berry, and now we just have to hope that this is going to work. So here against Honest Abe, it looks like he's doing 9 damage per hit. We just did 8 damage to him. So he's going to be a 4-hit KO here. So I really do think we need either a critical hit or a burn in order to make this one work. It does appear to be possible. It's just going to take either that crit or that burn. So I believe it's a 10% chance to get the burn on him. So it should take, you know, not tons and tons of attempts to get a burn, but we have to get some luck. The burn, I believe, is more likely than the critical hit. So that's probably the way we're getting through this. So there is an 8 damage range sometimes from him. So it's also possible that we could get through by having 17 HP remaining and having him be at 2 8 damage ranges, which would give us just enough turns to knock him out. There we finally get the crit though. So assuming he doesn't crit me back, I think we got this. There we go. So Honest Abe does go down, but that was not consistent by any means. So here it's time to heal up. It's time to give a berry. Check the stats on our Houndour. We are at level 7 with 25 HP. Ember, Leer, and Roar now going into Falkner. We have 15 attack, 11 defense, 18 special attack, 14 special defense, 16 speed, which means we're not going to outspeed the Pidgeotto. That is kind of bad. Let's just see if we even stand a chance here. So first things first, I'm going to try to just go Ember here. We get a miss from Pidgey. It is going for Tackle against us rather than Mud Slap. Wait just a second here. So we get a heal up against Pidgeotto, which appears to be doing 9 damage per hit. So if it's possible to get tackles from Pidgeotto or from Pidgey though, that could affect things a lot. Yeah, he is using Tackle on us rather than using Mud Slap, so we get through there, the Pidgey, with no accuracy drops whatsoever. We get a heal up to 22 HP here. Here we get a critical hit on the Pidgeotto, and there we go. Houndour gets through Falkner. Now, I've heard about this before, so it's worth noting that Falkner's AI is kind of interesting because Gen 2 trainers basically calculate the damage that they're going to do against you when they determine which move to use. But there are certain situations where you got to keep in mind, Tackle is technically stronger than Mud Slap. Like Mud Slap super effective is 40 base power effectively, right? Whereas Tackle, because it's the same type move, is effectively like 52 base power, 52, 53 base power in the game's calculation with a Pokemon like Pidgey. So here's what happens. Sometimes the damage is exactly equal between those two moves, and it has to do with your defense stat and their attack stat. If there are certain stats, the damage will basically be equivalent, or in some cases that Gust is going to be just a little bit stronger due to the fact that the defense stat and the attack stat just correlate in the right way. You get a little bit of damage rounding that makes that Tackle strong enough that it decides to use Tackle instead of using the Mud Slap. That is clearly what's happened here. So probably it's like a 1 damage difference between Mud Slap and Tackle in this case. So it's going to use Tackle every time. That's ridiculous. If it had gone Mud Slap, I think we get wrecked. But the fact that we had, what is that? Maybe might have had like 10 defense at the time that we came in. Just must be one of those values, you know, where it just balances out and it decides to use Tackle instead. That's stupid, but we will take it. Houndoom and Houndour have gotten through Falkner on minimum battles. They're going to go into this next section. They've got a shot, guys. Let's check the final results. Let's just see how we finally did. So with all of our challengers for today done, we've got 130 Pokemon through Falkner at this point. 70 failed. That's 200 right there. And another 9 that had to use Struggle. And like I said, I think Mischievous was already done and just isn't in the list for some reason. I'll look into that. But let's get set up for next time. See which Pokemon we're going to use. All right, so looking at next time, I'm going to come back with 16 challengers just because I think one of them we can pretty much eliminate immediately. Magikarp. I don't think Magikarp's getting through, but let's look at these challengers for a second. We've got Tauros, and since Tauros is the bull, we got to do Miltank. We got to have the cow and the bull in the next one. We're going to do the Gyarados line. We're going to do Lapras. We've got Ditto coming up. But then we finally get all of the evolutions. We're going to be able to try Espeon and Umbreon as well as the Gen 1 evolutions and Eevee. And then we're going to do Porygon and Porygon 2. Think they should be pretty interesting. Finally, we'll finish off with Fanfy and Donphan. I'm very interested to see how these Pokemon do next time. I think we can already say that Magikarp is a fail. I'm really not sure about the rest of them. It depends on their movesets. It depends on what they've got. Flareon and Jolteon are probably going to be okay is my guess. So I wouldn't be surprised if we got through with basically everything other than Magikarp next time. But that's just my prediction. You guys tell me what you think. Let's get it next time. We're almost done, guys. We're in the home stretch. So yeah, with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.